Hello, my name is Susana, and along with my classmates Alejandro and Walter, we'd like to propose animal testing as a topic for future scientists to debate on. Should animals be used for scientific or commercial testing? Animal testing refers to procedures performed on living animals with the purpose of research. The effectiveness of new medicinal products and the human health and environmental safety of new products such as cosmetics, household cleaners, food additives, pharmaceuticals, and industrial chemicals are usually experimented on animals. All procedures, even those classified as mild, have the potential to cause animals physical as well as psychological distress and suffering. Most animals are killed when the experiment is done or they're reused in new experiments. Research on animals has been practiced since at least 500 BC, and it has been suggested that every medical achievement in the 20th century relied on the use of animals in some way. The viewpoints on animal testing are equally negative and positive. Animal rights organizations argue that it is cruel, poorly regulated, and that the results are not reliable. However, in 2011, a poll was conducted among biomedical scientists, and more than 90% agreed that the use of animals in research is essential. On China, for example, when conducting research, the use of animals is mandatory. Opposite to it, on Europe, animal testing for cosmetics is illegal. Although animal testing has been around for a really long time, we believe it should be debated on the future because hopefully there will be enough technological advances that could provide even better results without animals being hurt. We would now like to provide some pros and cons about animal testing that could be useful for this debate in the future.
Hi, I'm Alejandro and I'm going to tell you guys about the cons of animal testing. And there are many issues that arise with animal testing currently. With the use of testing animals for commercial and scientific purposes, there are certain consequences that are presented. One of the first problems being that the use of animals for testing tortures and on occasion kills the animals that they are using to test. Over 100 million animals are burned, crippled, poisoned, and abused each year due to animal testing. Unlike humans, animals cannot volunteer for testing. The animals are forced to being tested on and, like humans, can and do suffer from the products being tested on them. Animals do not have any rights, and humans are not able to give them any rights apart from the Animal Welfare Act, because then every human would have to become vegetarian and outlaw hunting. There are alternatives to animal testing. With technological advances, we can now create computer simulations in order to test to see if a formula will work well when combined with certain cells. Alongside, we also now have in vitro testing, which tests on human cells in a petri dish. In vitro testing does produce slightly more accurate results in general just because they are human cells that the products would be working with. Taking care of animals can also get pretty expensive. Not only do companies have to pay for the upkeep of the animals, but they also have to pay for the disposal of the animals. Alternative testing, such as in vitro testing, is a lot cheaper than animal testing. According to CARE2, scientific professionals in the US have used $20 million on animal testing that were deemed arbitrary and pointless. Accuracy is a big issue when it comes to animal testing. Obviously, animals aren't genetically composed in the same way humans are, so the product results are going to vary between the two test subjects. 92% of the drugs that are effective on animals fail on humans because they are too dangerous or do not work. Often, inaccurate tests will lead to products causing problems in humans, like what occurred in the 1950s, when a sleeping pill that was tested on animals prior to the release was put out and ended up causing 10,000 babies to be born with severe deformities.
Hi, my name is Walter, and I will be talking about the pros of why we should use animals for scientific or commercial testing. To begin with, there are many medical discoveries through animal testing that we have discovered. For example, the California Biomedical Research Association states that nearly every medical breakthrough in the last 100 years has resulted directly from research using animals. The polio vaccine tested on animals reduced the global occurrence of the disease from 315,000 cases in 1988 to 223 cases in 2012. It has also contributed to major advances in understanding and treating conditions such as breast cancer, brain injury, childhood leukemia, tuberculosis, and many others. Thanks to animal testing, especially on mice, cancer survival rates continue to rise. Not only did it increase the survival rate, but animal research is responsible for the development of asthma. Animal testing has also eradicated smallpox from the earth. Here are some statistics that you may find amusing. Dog, cats, and primates altogether account for less than 0.2% of animal research. 90% of research in the UK is done on mice, rats, fish, and birds. The UK consumes over 300 times more fish each year than the total number of all animals used in medical research each year. The UK consumes more chickens this year than the total number of animals used in medical research over the past 2 centuries in Britain. Here are some other pros. For example, using computer models can't always predict unknown variables that can be discovered with animal testing. In the late 1940s, polio killed thousands of people. It reached the highest death in the US in 1952. The vaccine to cure it was found in animal research in the late 1950s. Animal research has benefited dogs and cats in certain areas. Moreover, the nutrition of dogs and cats have improved after repeated animal testing. Animals and humans are very similar. Same organ system, performing same task in more or less different ways. Modern surgical techniques, including hip replacement surgery, kidney transplant, heart transplant, and blood transfusions, were all perfected in animals. Modern anesthetics, like the tetanus vaccine, penicillin, and insulin, all rely on animal research in their development. And last but not least, it's not as common as it seems. The license for testing on animals is granted only when it is sufficiently proved that there are no available alternating testings.